Boom, we're live.
Bam.
Tonight, on Cover to Cover, X, Under the Big Black Sun. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. X. This is their third album. And I don't know the exact date, but it came out the month I was born. So
Oh, wow.
the album is the same age as me. So July 1982. Recorded Cherokee Studios in Hollywood, California. Clocks in at 34 minutes and 29 seconds. Released on Elektra Records, and this is the band's first major label. This is their major label debut. And I don't know if you guys read the Wikipedia, but it repeated that in the same sentence.
Yeah.
So Wikipedia needs to do some editing. And it was produced by the legendary Ray Manzarek of the Doors.
Very cool.
Love Ray Manzarek.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably my favorite Doors member.
I'm a
Favorite Doors member, bro.
I'm a Robbie Krieger guy myself.
I think I like them all. I don't have a favorite Doors member. I like them all. They were
It's hard. It's hard to.
like the easy one is Jim, but yeah, they were all cool as hell. All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Densmore had a really good rhythm. But we're not talking about the Doors tonight. We're talking about X. LA Punk.
Yeah, they were out of that whole California scene, they were the first punk band to get any kind of label at all. They were the first to it.
Which surprised me because I thought like the Germs or somebody would have been
It's on right here.
first.
So this came out in 80. Their second album came out in 82, and this came out, or 81, 82, 80, 81, 80, 82. Sorry. And that's they did one every year.
I was gonna say that's very early 80.
It came out in January.
Yeah, I was
of
gonna
80.
say January of 80, I thought. So it's
But that's Los
Brand-
Angeles, right? That's
Brand
the
new
cover.
decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure Elon Musk loved this band so much he named his son X, and that's like his new.
I heard that they almost sued him for it.
Really?
Imagine that.
Doesn't that did Rage Against the Machine bike kind of don't they have an album cover that kind of looks like that with the monk on fire?
yeah.
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 It's like a monk on fire, right? And it's the fight for Los Angeles, right? Isn't that album called something? The Battle of Los Angeles.
Yeah. Battle of Los Angeles. Yeah.
So it looks like it got inspiration from that cover.
I'm sure it is.
Dude, I'm gonna look it up real quick. It kind of that's what I just thought of.
Yeah, I went back and forth real hard between the first three albums because they're all incredibly solid. But I heard Under the Big Black Sun the least out of the three when we picked them, and that's the one I chose because I kind of got tired of this one. I played it too much, and I think their second album, Wild Gift, has a lot of I think a bit more filler than the other ones do. It's not a bad album. It's very, very good, but I think some of the tracks they lesser in quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like it doesn't have a consistent tone throughout the album. Los Angeles is like a concept album. It's very one tone. It paints a big picture. And I feel like The Big Black Sun is kind of like the true sequel to Los Angeles. and their the correct follow up of it.
So what's your thoughts on? Because I haven't heard none of these. I've never heard this album before.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard anything of the band before this album.
Wow.
So what's your thoughts on the difference of the record labels before compared to the major record label, the sound?
I think it's definitely better because Ray Manzarek is still producing it.
Did he do the other albums too?
He did the first 4. I think he had a 4-album contract. And the 4th one is probably technically the best out of all of them.
What's the name of that album?
More Fun in the New World. It's a lot happier in tone, or at least musically it is. And then the 5th album was probably like the end, because they got a different producer. Let me see who it was. But it's kind of like one wrong producer can like kill a whole band's momentum, because they were getting to that point where they were
About to break.
ready to get like break through.
Yeah.
And Ray Manzarek stepped away, and they gave it to this guy, and he took away Xena's voice, like she wasn't involved at all, and it sounds like Rat or like Motley Crue, like super refined, super like metallic and pristine, and they took away everything that made X so good in the first 4 to get a radio hit.
So he took her away from, and he didn't focus on her as much, or she's
Yeah,
still there, but she's not.
Yeah, she was still there, but he didn't want her a part of it, pretty much.
All
It's
right.
weird.
He
She
had
was-
one job.
Yeah.
Dude, you
She's
might
still
have,
a singer.
dude, she might have been my favorite part of this whole album.
Let me see.
Really?
I loved her.
I liked her too, but I liked the other guy, John Doe. What's his name?
Yeah, John Doe.
John Doe.
They're Lennon McCartney.
I liked his style.
It's Lennon McCartney. You can't take one of them away.
True. They do work good together. I would say that perfectly.
I like when he's singing and she's the backup vocal. When I
Yeah.
had it on headphones, I could not stop listening to their two voices going together. It was crazy. So
Yeah.
he took her out. Okay.
Let me see who it was. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah.
And I guess, like he said, I guess the 4th album, the album after this, is more happy.
Yeah,
This was more like a morning album.
Yeah, this was
somewhat.
definitely dark, and it fits the tone with Los Angeles. Even the cover, it being jet black.
Because wasn't the video or something we seen where they were singing about the loss of a friend and
Yeah, most of the album revolves around
death?
Xena's sister,
Yeah.
who was
right.
killed in a car accident, and she died on the way to their debut album release show,
Oh,
which is like crazy.
Oh.
So,
damn.
And-
That hurts.
in the documentary that came out alongside Under the Blue Black Sun, which was kind of just like a telling of the band's story, they walked through the Whiskey A Go Go as like right before it closed, and in the green room there was an AC unit like hanging above the street, and there was glass all over it, because when they found out, John Doe punched out the window, and when it closed, all the glass was still on the AC. So it's like left a part of it there.
How did
He's
you find out about them?
I don't even remember. I think they just came up.
And you just gave them a listen, and you were like, "Oh wow, look what I found."
Yeah, the decline of Western Civilization did a lot of heavy lifting, because they're the first band in that documentary, and they probably had the best interview section of the whole movie. They get like 20 minutes of just them in their living room of their house.
Mhm.
That's
Great,
the
great
best.
film, by the way.
Yes.
I would recommend it.
I have
both the first two, both. The third one, not
I
so
don't like
much.
part two. I don't like part two.
I don't think I've ever seen 2. 2 is the metal one, right?
Yeah, it's like hair metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've only seen the
third
first one.
one. The third one's not worth your time.
I like the third one.
What's the third one on?
That's hardcore, isn't it?
It's more like a street punk.
No.
There's no bands in it. There's like Naked Aggression and like one other. They're like barely showcased. It's mostly about like the people and like homeless and squatter scene. So you get like scenes of people panhandling and walking around and hanging out in a squat and talking about their scene less than like the bands.
Yeah. First movie's solid, though. It's got great acts in it. Fear.
Yeah,
Circle
I was
Jerk.
just gonna say Fear's in it.
The
Yeah.
Germs.
Black Flag has
Black
a good
Flag.
interview.
Black Flag. There's a couple other ones too, and I can't think of who they are.
The Bags, which they only had like, I think they only released 2 songs, and they have a super underrated section in that movie. That's real good.
Germs. What? That's a great name. The Germs.
They were a good band.
Pump bands are full of great names. The Dead Boys.
Great name.
I want to say the Germs, their first album was produced by Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Look at Sleepy. Look at Damien. X is currently touring with Los Lobos.
Yeah.
Just have to know if they're just too old.
Yeah, like
no way, because he just showed me a video that they just came out with like a year or two ago, and the song was awesome. Like, I'm like, damn, that was a great song. They still got it. They still sound good too.
I'm surprised you have never heard them before this. That's awesome.
Just to what I saw. Well, see, I've seen Decline of Western Civilization, but I didn't even remember them.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I got the first album a few years ago at a record store. It was like, I'm gonna look around and see if I can find one thing, and it was the X section. The last thing you find is like, I'm getting that one. Yeah. I think that was the first time I heard it, was when I played it when we got home. So pretty good.
Not a lot on the Wikipedia though.
No.
So
I didn't look at the band's Wikipedia, but the album itself I looked at.
What was on the band's Wikipedia, I copy and pasted to that album Wikipedia. So that there's like a paragraph that wasn't there before.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that talks about her sister and stuff.
What's up, Barbarian? Good to see you, man.
And okay, I finally found it. The producer that produced their 5th album was Michael Wagner, which isn't a great fit.
He
Barbarian, I haven't. I'm not familiar with the other albums, but spoiler alert, I would recommend this album. This was a good album.
Yeah.
Every album they ever put out, except for the 5th one,
Yeah.
is perfect.
I was just gonna say I'd recommend definitely the first one in this album. I've only ever heard Wild Gift once.
Wild Gift has probably some of their best tracks in it, but I wish they were spread across. I feel like Wild Gift should have been like a 12-inch EP than an album.
But I am interested in going back and checking out the other albums.
Yeah,
So
I need to go back and listen to Los Angeles.
I forgot I had this. So this is the Encyclopedia of Rock and Roll.
Oh, I got one of those.
Yeah, I forgot. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Yeah. So you go to the back and you look at X. And
I
yeah,
didn't
they
even
get.
think about it. I haven't used these in years.
Yeah, I just thought about it. I go, wait a second, I got something else to look up. So they do have them, and they get 2 whole pages.
Just 2. Had that big over.
They get 2 pages. And look, they got even got a picture.
I have the album guide
That's a
too.
good picture.
So, all right, I'll
Very
have to
cool.
read
I don't know if. Let me look, see if it's in here. They're in here. Oh, look at that!
What is it? Well, what is it?
There they are. There's the one.
Got all their
Turn
and
the page. See if there's a
the
picture.
bidders, who whatever that is.
Turn the page. Is there a picture of them?
No, not for this.
Oh.
This one is albums.
What a great band name too.
I love that. What is it about X, right?
Oh, it's cool.
It's like it's
It's
cool.
dangerous.
It's the
I'm gonna
coolest
look at this one too.
It's the coolest letter in the alphabet, right?
Yeah.
X.
It means no.
Perfect.
And what's cool is in every album, they never use the same logo.
Or 10.
Yeah.
Could be no or 10.
Yeah, every logo's different. So, which again, it's best if you're like on a like a list of bands and they don't have your font. They just like write X and it's fine.
Oh wow, look at that.
Dang.
Right in the prime.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're not in this one either.
They're getting old.
But yeah, the using the X, that's you can interpret that all kinds of ways, you know.
It's
If you think about like when like I don't know, like illiterate people back in the day, they would sign their name, they would sign an X.
Yeah.
You know, or as a no, or
there's a group now that
weren't straight
or a caution.
there's a group now that like it's they're like more DJ but they sing and stuff. They're called I guess they couldn't use X, so they're the XX. So
There's an opportunity to have a band called the O's.
An X cover band.
The O's.
X
Or you
marks
can have a check mark, the check. X marks the spot. That's right. That's a good one.
Wasn't there a band called ABC?
Probably.
ABC was a band. Yeah, the Look of Love.
What genre do you put them as?
What's the
I
look?
put that in just
They would be like a second wave punk band, right?
probably first. No, yeah, second. They're an early. They were like 79. They were early LA with a bit of a rockabilly. Just think Ramones, but if Chuck Berry played for them. That's their first album.
There was I heard Los Angeles,
Did you?
and I felt that rockabilly, the influence.
They go more from rockabilly to country the further they go. This one has more country influence than because that's all they listened to was like.
Oh, and he
All
played
those
me some
old-
songs from their country album. They went by a different name. Solid. Oh, it's good.
And John Doe now, because he's like 75 years old or something, he has a solo folk project that's like really solid. And he does some X songs in that acoustic one guy style, and it's good.
Are they one of your favorite bands?
I think they're the greatest American band, period.
It sounds like it.
And I don't think
huge
I don't think
fan.
that's wrong either.
That's great. That's
I kept coming up with videos for a book that he wrote. He wrote like
Yeah.
memoir. And I think it's called Under the Big Black Sun. But I saw an interview where he said a lot of people think the punk movement started, or say the punk movement started with the Sex Pistols. He goes, whatever.
Snickers, that's them, yeah.
That album is in the album guide.
That's good. They only did one album. For
That's a
them.
great album. I would recommend if anybody hasn't heard that one.
Yeah, I never heard that.
He went through and skimmed through some of the songs and solid.
The Knitters.
Yeah, Barbarian. The guitars are very. It's got a very driving riff. You'll definitely like it.
If you're familiar, the guitar playing to me, like he said, it has a little bit of a rockabilly type sound because he uses almost like a smaller like Gretsch.
It's like a silver Les Paul almost.
And it has that Gretsch,
Whammy bar, that big.
that kind of a high reverb type sound you hear in like rockabilly, like even like Nick 13 and Tiger Army, that style.
He said he used a lot of Gretsch on it.
Yeah, I think
It
when they
definitely has
started,
a Gretsch sound.
when they started, he didn't have no money for a Gretsch.
Yeah,
I think they're expensive.
I agree with Sleepy. He's very good. Underrated.
Everyone in the band, I think Exene and John Doe are probably some of the greatest writers, at least in punk period.
So
They're good.
She kind of has I'm a Patti Smith fan, and she has kind of a Patti Smith vibe to her a little bit in some of the songs. So I'm like, I like it. And his John Doe's voice, I couldn't pinpoint it, but he's got some qualities of somebody else I've heard that I really like. And I can't pinpoint it though.
I really like him. Like he has it all. He has a good voice singing. He has the swagger. He looks good. He just looked like a leader of a band.
Yeah, and he's the bass
Killer
player.
bass player. He's a good bass player too. Yeah. He writes some pretty amazing stuff.
Dude, you found it on a whim, and look at the praise. Look at what they meant to you. I think that's awesome. And you just found
Like another album we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much all my albums we did.
Yeah, you find them on a whim. Yeah. Oh my God, I think that's awesome. I love that.
Oh, it definitely is. There's so much more out there that you still yet to found. You haven't found yet.
Shit, there's still stuff.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of music, and there's just so much out there. That's just like a perspective thing. You ever see like people doing walkthroughs of Mile High Comics?
Yeah.
And you look at the size of that place and the inventory and think how many artists and writers and everything was involved and how many stories are in these millions of boxes.
Yeah,
And it's like that's how it is with music. You go into a music store and it's like, look at all the ideas and the visions and the sounds and the musicians and the writers, and it's kind of cool and overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that I've come across over the years is through like top 100 or top 500 lists or freaking reference guides. That's how I found X. Is they're on like I think it's the Rolling Stone 500 or something like that. They're both their first 3 albums are on there.
Yeah.
And you never heard of them before. And it's great. And
Nope.
it's like,
Before I started listening to that list, I'd never heard of them.
yeah. That happened to me as well. Like I remember when I first I got LCD Sound System. That's how I got turned on to LCD Sound System, was one of those lists. And I remember I went and I bought the album. And I came home. I was living with my brother at the time. And I come home. And I go, bro, you got to listen to this. I saw it. And I put on it. I think it's Sound of Silver. It's like the second album. And I put it on. And he looks at me and he's like, are you an idiot? I played that song for you last week. Oh, really? It's amazing. felt like such an idiot, but he was right. It was this song called "Drunk Girls," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you did." Wow, I thought. Anyway, that was a moment. I'll never forget that because he looked at me like, "You're such an idiot, dude. What do you mean? Let me hear this. I played it for you last week and you didn't give a shit. But now you see the album on a list and you go get it and now it's awesome. But when I told you, yeah, good memories, good memories. This look. So, anyway, that's why I think it's such an awesome that you found something like this and in your heart, they're the greatest American band. And that's crazy. That's high praise, man. That's high praise. Awesome. So, you guys like the album?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too.
I liked her a lot. I liked her a lot. It felt like a garage band, almost. You know, it was almost like the Violent Femmes, or just like like they were just one take and they recorded it, and that's how it sounded. Like it sounded so raw, I guess.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I like the difference in the different songs. The first song, what is it, Hungry Wolf? Is that what it's?
Yeah.
Great opening song.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. And then when you hear the story, like what you were saying about that her sister passed, it gives it. It's almost like last week with the Beastie Boys. It gives it more depth to everything that you've listened to. You know, once you find that out, it's like, okay, there's more to this. You know, I think that's pretty awesome.
Definitely sounds like an early punk band.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like 1982,
Yes.
but it sounds great.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. It's almost like going back to Nick 13. I can't pinpoint a bad song, a song that doesn't fit. I can't pinpoint a song that's like, I'll skip that one. So
Yeah, totally the same way with this album.
That is their first four all the way through.
Yeah.
Before we within the week, I did the first four probably twice, where I listened to all those, and I probably listened to the album we're doing by itself 20 times just in this week, probably. Like I've been X is my life.
Is this their most successful album? Which one is their most successful? Is there any documentation of that? Is it Los Angeles or this one?
Their fourth one is their most successful.
Yeah. Okay.
But in retrospect, Los Angeles is. It's like a big milestone album.
I didn't really find anything that indicated like numbers.
Right? Did they mention their sales?
What's that?
The sales. They didn't really mention.
No.
They must have did good because their fourth album, I think they had a few radio hits. They were on Dick Clark. I think they were on David Letterman.
So they were just getting, and then, wow.
That's when Ray Manzarek handed over the reins, and then it shit the bed.
That's
got to be frustrating.
They were literally right on.
God,
he should have just been there. Ray Manzarek should have been their, what's his name, George. Their Beatles man. He should have just been there.
Was it Best?
George Martin.
He should have been their George Martin. Just been with them, been their pseudo manager, because he discovered them. He's the one that got them signed, and
that might be an interesting story. Why did he leave? Just because it was a contract, I guess.
Probably. What I think probably happened.
That would be interesting. Maybe they wanted them to leave. They wanted to move on, and I don't know.
I think it might have been a label thing, because they did the Wild Thing cover, which is probably their most famous. I think it was in like Major League and like that kind of stuff.
Their cover version?
Yeah. And
that was them that did it?
Yeah, they did
Wild
that.
Thing? No shit.
Huh.
So when they got Michael Wagner, he produced that single. and that has a very metallic. It doesn't really sound like X.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just went, oh, well, this did good. He made it. You do a whole album. And then it ruined their momentum completely.
Wow. Because then what? They sounded like everybody else that was out at that, hitting.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
It was like soulless.
Damn.
It really is like a Phil Spector kind of Ramones, where they were right on that edge, and then one wrong producer can basically kill your career.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Probably, yeah.
That sucks.
But either way, their name's in the rock and roll encyclopedia, and there's lots of bands that ain't. I guarantee you that. So they at least accomplished that much.
They were significant, right?
So hats off to the X.
Don't worry, Daddy. You don't have to do it. Don't worry.
They made their mark, literally.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. It's, in my opinion, it's the best album you've picked this season.
Really?
I agree. I concur. That was definitely the best one.
I don't know.
This one I actually really liked.
I'm kind of neck and neck on Juju because I think I have a similar kind of vibe to him.
I thought you were going to say Atari Teenage Riot.
It's funny you should mention that because I believe after this album got done playing on my YouTube Music, a song from Juju was the next one that played. So
I've infiltrated your recommendations.
Yeah, there was no bad song. Nothing that was like, nah.
What
like
about
the
the album cover?
I like the album cover.
Can we get a picture of that?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Sorry, I didn't mean to do
Holy!
Scare me.
You're gonna get this canceled.
Dang, big old on that one.
Yeah.
that.
That's that record ring ain't supposed to be there. So that's a cool cover. I really like the cover. Even with the record ring, that looks cool.
The ring actually looks really good with it because it looks like a big black sun.
Yeah.
It fits.
It does.
Looks cool.
It wore out just right.
Yeah, the album cover I think is the vibe of the whole record.
You seeing the similarities in their covers, just black and white silhouette type
And these
stuff.
these are the only two that look like this.
Oh, really?
So and it also kind of plays with them having a similar kind of atmosphere with them.
So I guess that would make sense if this was technically a sequel to Los Angeles.
It's got that Frank Miller Sin City vibe.
Yes. Hey,
Very
look, and we're
warm.
wearing black and white. Look, what do you know?
Very
Dun 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 dun.
It fits. It's perfect. It's a motel bed. That's what I always think.
Now, did their logo change like their X?
It changes every album.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
so.
But I think that version is like their unofficial. That's the one they usually like when they do like a tour. That's the one they use.
This one.
Yeah.
So I found this too, and apparently that I'm gonna say this is the back cover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the looks on their faces, and then John is just kind of looking away.
There's a rat in the corner.
And
So wait, so that's the album?
that's the back of the album, yeah.
See, to me, that doesn't go together.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit. You kind of get a 80s pop band,
Yes.
kind of, you know.
Like
This-
you mentioned the band ABC.
Or electronic band.
Like, look, this back cover fits.
That looks like the band ABC there.
The better. Like that back cover fits.
Yes.
Black and white. It's them standing there. They all look cool.
You
Yeah,
know what
even
you're gonna get. You know what you're gonna get with this album. This
Yeah.
album cover front and back.
Even if
This,
it was,
this could be deceiving.
yeah, if that was in black and white, it would be better.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
Especially if it was a silhouette.
Yeah.
Photo.
I also want to note, if anybody is wondering, have you seen this man before? You probably have, because he's been in a lot of movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, bit parts, stuff like that.
He plays a minor character in Roadhouse.
I thought that was gonna be a shoot off on his name. Have you seen this man before? His name's John Doe. We're trying to figure it out.
I'm you know,
Was he in
I'm not
Roadhouse?
saying it's not, but
I found that out today. Let me see if I can find the picture.
Dude,
Yeah,
and she does have Susie vibes, right? She gives it off.
isn't he the one that was skimming the till in Roadhouse?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the bartender. Instead of skimming the.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
John Doe.
Wow.
What a guy.
I'm very, very interested in diving deep into these guys and his solo stuff.
You got a
I'm
project.
very interested in the John Doe side of all of it.
You could really just flip a coin and pick one, and not their fifth one, but any of their albums, and have a good time with it.
Is
And it'd
Wild
be
Thing on
good.
their fifth one?
I think that was just a single.
Oh.
But this is your favorite one. Why is this one your favorite album?
I don't know if it is my favorite.
Why'd you
I
pick
don't,
it?
I don't,
You
I don't
picked
think
it
I could.
except because it captured everything about them. I think you said that last week.
Yeah, I think it's that's them at their best, I think, with this specific sound. So I would say yes in that. But I do really love the first one. I think the second one has solid picks. I think their fourth one is technically probably their best. But I like the vibe of the third one. I like the dark atmosphere of it.
It's almost like last week when I picked Check Your Head, but then we started talking about that Ill Communication is probably the album. You know,
Yeah.
everything comes together, and that's the album. It's almost like you could say the album where they hit big, I guess. It's almost like Van Halen 1984. You know, that's the album.
Their magnum opus. Is that what they call it? Magnum
Like,
opus.
that Black album, right? That's like the zenith of that AC/DC, Back in Black. You know, everything before that, and then it was so the fourth one you think is that album for them, but not necessarily your favorite.
Yeah. I think it's technically their best, but it's not my favorite.
Funny how that works.
I'm interested in checking out the fourth one.
It's a very different sound.
Yeah, I heard Los Angeles.
It's more upbeat.
Too. What were we gonna say? It's what?
It's more upbeat.
It's more of a
It's less dark. It's happier in musically it is, but I don't know about lyrics. I haven't gone through them. I've only heard it a handful of times, but
interesting. I have to listen to it.
You guys have any favorite songs? Favorite song?
I think there's a definitive best song on this album, or two definitive best songs.
Well, I like two that stick out. Well, actually, there's three.
There's definitely a lot for me to choose, but the one song that jumped out at me first, and the one I would say I probably like the most, would be the opening song, "Hungry Wolf."
It's really good.
Great song.
Mhm.
Every time that song comes on, my foot taps.
It's a really good song. I like the title song.
Yeah.
I like that one as well.
And Dancing with Tears in My Eyes is kind of a slow ballad, I guess you could say. And he found out
That it's a cover, right?
the cover from 1930.
That's crazy.
That's the stuff they were influenced by, though, which is, I think, deceiving for a punk band. It's like
Yes.
your inspiration isn't Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones. And it was like Hank Williams and
Like,
Yeah.
Williams
she,
and
she said when
Johnny
she met them, she said when she met them that they had all those records in their collection, like early George Jones and Hank Williams and
yeah, all that
all the
early
rock
blues,
Eddie
Howlin'
Cotter.
Wolf, that kind of stuff.
my kind of people.
But that's 1930, bro. Wow.
Yeah,
I like Closer. What is it? Close. Come back to me. Come back to me. The slow one.
I think that's the best song.
That's the first when that song came on. I was like, oh, that's totally different, and I loved it.
It's like the magnum opus of their magnum opus. It's the
Is that the one
that's one with the saxophone?
Is that
Yeah.
the one that sounds like the Shack Shakers?
No, that's this one. It's the Real Child of Hell.
Yeah, the Real Child of Hell. The music in that, the Shack Shakers used that same riff, but changed it he did the old Vanilla Ice ding 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 change to it. Because soon as I heard that song, I'm like, holy crap, that sounds like the Shack Shakers, Iron Lung Lupa that we did.
I think the other definitive song is the closing track, The Have Nots. I think might be their best song, period.
I gotta listen to that. I don't remember that.
It's so good. As an ending song, that's the song that fits the tone best.
And it's also the longest song on the album.
Yeah, and lyrically it's pretty great.
I think my favorite song is Opener and Come Back to Me.
Yeah, those are good ones. But if you get a wild hair, check out Real Child of Hell and then play Iron Lung Lupa Shack Shakers. You will be amazed. Makes me want to, if I ever meet JD Wilkes again, ask him if that had any inspiration to the music of that. Because it's so similar. I played it for him and we played one and then the other, and it's like, wow. You're muted, son.
It's almost like Under Pressure and Vanilla Ice. Ice.
Ding, 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 ding. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Not the same. It's not even close.
Must be pretty close. You got sued for it.
Oh man, I love it.
What a guy. My favorite.
That's a quote used in this house between me and him all the time. All the time. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Totally different.
I'm kind of partial to Blue Spark. I don't know.
Blue Spark is good too.
That might have been their single, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one they played on MTV. So they did pretty good.
It's a good album. It's solid.
Yeah, I like this album a lot.
It's super solid.
Definitely one I wouldn't mind having in my collection.
It's definitely, like I said, it's the definitive Boat album because it's everything that I like. It's all the influences that I like. in one thing. It has all the tone I like. It has the feeling. This is a boat album.
That is great.
And that's the bottom line. Well,
All right.
Awesome. So how you feel better?
anxiety gone.
Anxiety's gone. It went well. What's next?
Spin that wheel, Donald.
Actually, what was a hit?
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us for choosing that.
Damn it.
Now we're in the nitty gritty.
Why
Yep.
is it not shuffling?
My white flag has hit the ground.
So it's just me and Donnie.
Yep.
Yep.
2 minutes or 1 minute.
Ooh.
Go.
Ask and you shall receive, boat.
Yep. This is gonna be good. I'm excited for this one.
This album's a little different.
Is this your pick?
Yeah, this is my pick. This album is not your regular album. This is almost like a greatest hits.
Okay.
Actually, it is a greatest hits to this point. And there's a story behind why they did it. Because you'll soon know.
I from what I saw from the one song, I think it might be a singles collection, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, singles, and I forget who it was wanted to hear all their songs in one place. You know, this
Okay.
is so. I guess that's why I forget. I've read it, and so that's what they did. They put all their singles together in one album, and it's probably their most popular album.
Yeah, I almost picked one of them singles collections because it's
Yeah.
like their best stuff. And it's short.
Yeah, this has a lot of songs. This has a lot of songs, and there's a story too. It's almost. I do remember when I first heard New Order. I'll tell that story next.
Might be the first person to remember.
What?
You might be the first person to remember because I think every show we've done, we don't remember.
Oh no, this one I 100% know exactly where I was, who I was with, where I was, and I actually had to ask, "What is this playing?"
Nice.
So it was like
Can't wait to hear the rest of the story.
it's not a big story. It's not a interesting story. But then after that, later on, not too far after, there was another moment that kind of intertwined with New Order. That was also, wow, what is this? And it was like, that's when I stopped listening to Motley Crue and Quiet Riot and all that, and it just went somewhere else. So I'll tell you the story. God, I feel like an old guy when I start telling these stories, bro. I feel like I'm talking to my kids, and my kids are like, "Oh God, I'm gonna hear another story." Sucks getting old, bro. One big reminiscing. Your life becomes one big reminiscing, storyline, whatever. Anyway, next time.
Next time.
I owe you a story time.
All right.
Story time with the elder.
The Elder.
All right, so go check out X Under the Big Black Sun and their many other albums in their collection, especially their first album. And check out New Order's Substance 87. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you are at all into any of those bands, like Joy Division, who they spawned out of.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, Depeche Mode, any of those bands. London Suede, Smiths.
Frosty Beat.
If you're into that genre, or if you're just looking for maybe a starting point, this will be a good starting point. Check
Tune
it
in
out.
Yeah, tune in for that show. We're all gonna be dancing. We're gonna see it's the first ever cover to cover dance off. Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be must watch YouTube.
It's possible. Yep. Might go viral.
We're gonna see that bead to the view count.
Yeah, it's gonna go through the roof.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. In the meantime, get out there and listen to some music. God damn it. Peace.